guys, Fula coming to you with actually a breakdown. This is not a commentary. This is going to be a breakdown to show you, because a lot of you guys think I'm coming at Sha'Carri for, just her toxicity. You think I'm coming for her because, oh, she's a black woman. Oh, you don't like black women and things like that. But mind you, the winners of the race were black too, but they're from a different part of, they're from an island, but that doesn't separate the fact that they're black women. I love them women. Shout outs to Elaine Thompson and shout outs to Shelly Ann Fraser Price, aka Pocket Rocket. Okay? Anybody who knows me knows I've been rocking with Pocket Rocket for a long time. But since you guys are in your feelings, I guess I have to put my coach's lens on and show you why Sha'Carri lost the race. Okay? I'm going to have to show the technical aspect of why she lost the race. All right? Not the psychological.
This next event on the track,
It has nothing to do with the psychological aspect. I'm going to have to show you the technical aspects why she lost the race. Let's
Yankee women's 100 meters. There's center of picture, and now you see her amongst the 9 women in this race. The 21-year-old Sha'Carri Richardson won the Olympic trials here in June, but the evening after that race, she tested positive for marijuana, which she said she used to help cope with the death of her biological mother. That positive test invalidated her result from the trials, so she could not compete in the Olympics. But her situation generated a lot of sympathy, and the track world has been eagerly awaiting her return to the track today, exactly 9 weeks after that stirring.
Got a collection of 100-meter medals. That was double, winning the 100 and the 200 in successive Olympics. The entire podium is here. Shericka Jackson third, Shelly Ann Fraser Price second, and on the left there, Elaine Thompson Harrah, the gold medalist in both the 100 and the 200. And they've put Sha'Carri Richardson in the middle.
9 talented women.
All right. I'm going to show you why she lost the race.
On this track right now, but the world thinking this is Richardson versus the Tokyo podium in the women's 100.
This crowd is completely hushed.
Richardson said she didn't think.
It was crazy. Just a side note. When you don't try to get women, you get women. This is just a side note. I remember one time I went in the blocks for my hurdles, and after the race, one of the homies said, yeah, one of the girls from the opposite team was looking at your butt. And I'm like, oh, I wasn't focused. I was focused on running fast, But yeah, that's pretty, it's pretty chill when they get into the blocks. You know what I mean? When the females get into the blocks. But let's continue on.
That she would be nervous coming into this race, but wants to perform well, and she is sandwiched between the 2 greatest Jamaican sprinters ever.
And arguably 2 of the best ever. So before this race even starts, 2 10-6s versus all these 10-7s never happened before in history.
Women's 100.
All right. First thing is first. The reaction time was very horrible, okay? Her reaction time was late, okay? There's like really a little bit of a margin in regards to the reaction time that you can't really miss. So if your reaction time is late on a 100-meter race, you're pretty much going to be like kicking if your reaction time is late on a 100-meter race, you pretty much have 100 meters in self-pity, because it's very difficult to win the race. A guy who had not the greatest of starts, but he was able to win races, is Usain Bolt, for the simple fact that his stride would just eat up the competition, okay? And so he was able to make up for his not so good start by him by him basically having that stride. But now let's look at it again, and then you can see that she was late when she made this start.
Women's 100. And a good start for Kellyanne Fraser Price. Thompson, hurrah! Richardson being left.
Thing. I want you to notice a couple of things, okay? I want you to notice a couple of things. Now, I'm gonna rewind it.
Didn't think that she was the two great
2:10.6s.
the two greatest Jamaican sprinters ever.
And arguably two of the best ever. So before this race even starts, 2:10.6s versus all these 10.7s never happened before in history.
Women's 100.
Okay. So, the difference between the other competitors and her is that they're staying in their dry phase, right? Meaning they're building their momentum. They're building up their speed as they go along. Although they're getting out of the blocks very, very fast, their speed is being built up as they go along. And the thing is, in your dry phase, you're supposed to be, your head's supposed to be down. If you notice, Sha'Carri popped straight up when she got out of the blocks. Instead of staying down, she popped straight up. Let's look at it again. She popped straight up out of the blocks. This is the thing. She was already at full speed before they even got to like 40 meters, basically. You can only hold full speed for a little bit of time. You can't hold full speed for like, you're not going to hold full speed for 100 meters, all the 100 meters. So when she was at like, let's just say 30 meters, she was already at full speed, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to accelerate. Where you're at like maybe 60 meters or so, that's when you have to have your full speed. Because the thing is, you're going to decelerate. So she was already decelerating at like, basically, she was already decelerating, you know, before the let's just say the 5 to 10 meter mark. She was already decelerating like when there was 30 meters left in the race, you know, and they're still kicking top speed, you know, the competitors. I'm going to tell you something else she did wrong that you guys may have not noticed. Let me go real quick. Tell you what she did wrong.
She didn't think that she was
2:10.
Richardson being left.
Never. So before this race even starts, 2:10.6s versus all these 10.7s never happened before in history.
Women's 100. And a good start for Kellyanne Fraser Price. Thompson, hurrah! Richardson being left behind, and out in front, the Olympic champion does it again.
10.54.
Okay. A couple of things to note about how Elaine and Pocket Rocket ran their race.
Okay. That is the top ever.
And our
Women's 100. And a good start.
The thing is, what they're doing versus what she's doing is, if you look closely, they're leaning forward. She is not leaning forward, okay? She is not leaning forward at all. She is running straight up in the air. So when you run straight up in the air and you don't have any forward lean, in essence, you're hitting brakes. So what she's trying to do is she's trying to compromise, like she's trying to substitute her crappy technique for her just being having raw speed and being very strong. The thing is, though, technique, you need speed and technique. And technique is going to beat speed, just raw speed every time. Technique is always going to win. Okay? So that's the thing. If you look here, she's running straight up. Look very closely. Look at the competitors who are leaning forward from the ankles, whereas she is running straight up. Look closely.
Fraser Price, Thompson Hurrah, Richardson being left behind, and out in front, the Olympic champion does it again.
10.54. That is the second fastest time ever. Only Flojo has run better. And the Olympic champion reminds you why she is the
Brianna Williams is cute too, you know, and she even whooped Sha'Carri's ass. You know, and Brianna Williams, she's only 19, and she's still more mature than Sha'Carri, which I find fascinating.
now reigning Olympic champ. That was an amazing 100 meters. She made it look
See how all of them, you know, this is a technique video, but you see how all of them are congratulating each other? You know what they all have in common, though? You know what they all have in common while they're congratulating each other? They're all black women from other places. They're black women from Jamaica. You have black women from Cote d'Ivoire. And you have the mixed black woman who's from Switzerland. And I think her dad is from the Congo. But do you see Miss I'm That Girl congratulating them? No, you don't. They're all congratulating each other, showing good sportsmanship. What does she do? And I'm pretty sure they would have gave her like props and said, you know, thank you for being in the race with us. You know, thank you for competing with us. They would have said that, you know? And you see how Brianna Williams is actually happy for Elaine Thompson? Whereas Sha'Carri's toxic ass just walks away. But let me not sidetrack. Let me continue. I'm going to tell you what else she didn't.
amazing. That was an
Let me see if I can find it in slow motion. Hold on. Let me see.
and duplicates their.
Let me see if I can find it in slow motion so I can show you guys what else she didn't do. Let me see what else she didn't do. Okay, let's see. Yeah, she getting on my nerves though, like already, and she hasn't even really gotten started. But I can tell like she's gonna be like a problem. Yeah, I don't mean that in a good way, you know. I just want to see if they have the race in slow motion so I can show you like what happened.
Championships. Look at the quality there. 3 of the 6
Yeah, hold on.
the 100 could have had, with all due respect.
Quality though.
But this is more like. Goodness me!
Nah, they don't got it. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, it looks like they don't got it. But let me see.
What if we could eliminate everything from the stage, except the stuff we care about the most.
Sha'Carri is trending.
Okay, so I want to give you guys some information too. The thing is that you have to be very relaxed when you're running. A relaxed run, a relaxed muscle, and I'm giving out too much information. I'm giving out too much of my things in the cookie jar. But anyhow, when you are how should I say it? Wow, this nigga said Sha'Carri Richardson 100-meter race looks staged. Negro, please. She got her ass kicked. That's all there is to it. Wanagi or whatever your name is. Nigga, she got her ass kicked. That's it. So back to my point. When you are relaxed, when you are running relaxed, then you're going to run faster. That's the thing. If you're running stiff, you're not going to run fast. That's the thing. You're not going to really run fast. You have to run, be relaxed and smooth when you're running. And Sha'Carri, unfortunately, was not fast or relaxed. You know, a relaxed muscle is a fast muscle. You look at, for example, I know this isn't the best example to use, but you look at a cobra at attention, and then, you know, when a cobra strikes, they're just like very relaxed when they move their head, like their head around, moving it back and forth and stuff, but they just strike very quickly because they're relaxed. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you another race on the guy side of you know, why it is so important to run relaxed. It's very important to run relaxed, okay? I'm going to show you guys something. And this is one of my favorite hurdlers. Actually, he is my favorite hurdler. Honestly, he basically, with my coach and with going to Cuba and with watching him hurdle, basically taught me how to hurdle. But this is the thing that I want you to look at when he's running, okay? It doesn't even look like he's running fast, but he's running extremely fast. But let's go ahead and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about.
Tramel's out first. Robles is right there. Tramel stumbled a little bit, allowing Robles of Cuba to take it.
And Robles is well out in front, bolting for home, and he has plenty of cushion. 12.88, tying a world record. Wow!
Now, the thing is about him is he just basically, again, relaxed, on your toes, leaning forward, just lifting his leg over the hurdle. But the most important thing is he's relaxed, okay? Let's look in slow motion. Let's see. Okay, now they're going to show it in slow motion, and you can just see he's very...
Right there. You see Robles gets out very well over the...
And the most important thing was his start. He got the hell out of there. You know, he got the hell out of there. Unlike Sha'Carri, who got left behind in her start. But let's look.
First hurdle, it's he and Terrence Tramel. But right here, remember, Terrence Tramel is a silver medalist at the Olympics. But take a
difference. Now, you have the other guy to the side of him named Terrence Tramel. And the thing is about Terrence Tramel is he's fast. You know, like ground speed, he's fast. But, you know, no disrespect to him, he didn't have the best technique. He knocked down a lot of hurdles. He hit a lot of hurdles versus Dayron Robles, who really didn't hit any hurdles.
Look at how quickly Robles is turning his feet over between the hurdles and really gapping the space between he and Trammell. A great race, and in fact, he leaned a little bit early. If he would have run through it, might have been even better. That's Robles on the left side of your screen, very clean over the hurdles, a tall athlete, and wow, what a fantastic race.
So I showed that video to show you that Sha'Carri was not relaxed at all. She was very stiff. And you can't be stiff running this, okay? And I'll give you one more video, and then I'll end it with that. But I want to make sure y'all are still with me on the reasons why Sha'Carri lost. Number one, her start was trash. Number two, she ran straight up out of the blocks. Number three, she was not relaxed. She was very stiff. Number four, she wasn't leaning forward while she was running. She was relying on her raw strength and her raw speed to run, with lack of technique. Now, there's one more runner I want to show you, and he's one of my favorite runners. He runs extremely fast 400 meters. And again, he's relaxed when he's running the 400 meters. Let's look at his 2012 Olympic race. Let's look at that. Okay. This is when, okay.
We put a lot of stress on our feet. It's no wonder they ache. Introducing ArchFit from Skechers. ArchFit distributes pressure across the arch, providing balance and support to make walking more comfortable. They're machine washable and available for men and women. ArchFit, new from Skechers.
Let me see. All right, let me see real quick. This is Sha'Carri James. He's from Grenada. Okay. He's a 400-meter runner. And let's just look at one of his races. Let's just look at one of his races, okay? And you can see what I'm talking about him being relaxed when he's running.
Well, wasn't I, Jen? How much I was excited for the men's javelin.
Let me see.
Scotty generally does start quite slow in lane 3, but what this season? Hundredths ahead of Dobber there in 45.30. Well, we're just looking again at 200 metres gone. James did manage to see Norwood outside him. That helps, of course, when your biggest rival is just outside.
This is another thing. Let's look at this. Although this is a different race, it's the 400 meters, it's still a sprint. Okay? There are a few things that these guys are doing that enabled him to win the race. Okay.
You can actually see them.
They're both having, Sha'Carri James is having that forward lean. That's the most important thing. Another thing is that Sha'Carri James is keeping his arms swinging forward. The thing is, no disrespect, but Sha'Carri's arms were swinging side to side when she ran that race. They weren't swinging forward and back. Well, I meant to say when she lost that race. They weren't swinging forward and back. But let's continue.
Dobber was going really well on that inside lane there in lane 2.
So you see,
Karani James, he just had half a meter, didn't
look. As you see Karani James run, it's a very relaxed run. You can tell he's relaxed, he's fluid, and that's what's needed to win. Okay? You can't be stiff running these events. You can tell that he's relaxed, fluid, although he's tired, he's doing his thing. Okay? Being relaxed and fluid as possible. And that's what you need to win races, is be relaxed and fluid as possible. Whereas Sha'Carri is none of the above. But anyhow, man, I just wanted to go over that to show you guys that, you know, my thing is not only her toxicity that I'm not big on, it's her, like, no disrespect, but her bad running technique that I'm not big on. You know, if I had daughters, I would tell them not to watch Sha'Carri run, or not to emulate the way she runs. I would tell them to emulate Pocket Rocket, Elaine Thompson, Dalilah Muhammad. You know, just depends on the event. But if we're talking about 100 meters, I would say no. But anyhow, man, that's all I got for y'all. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Foolish signing out. Inshallah.